Like, that is what I want at the end of this. I want to be known as somebody who is authentic to herself, who makes people laugh and makes people joyful, period.
Wait, it's not that deep.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Not That Deep, episode 53. Pew, 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 pew. I'm so excited to have you for so many different reasons. First of all, yes, I have a cold. This isn't just like a quick voice effect that I'm putting on. Congestion is real. And the thing about getting sick in the summer is it's not supposed to happen. Sickness is for like a common cold is should be really reserved for the winter, but for whatever reason I feel like I mainly get sick in the summer, but that's okay. Something else that's important to note, and I do think this is a common theme that I preach on in Not That Deep is like if you can experience illness and it's temporary, you are very lucky. So being able to be sick and recognize that and then kind of move through those motions of, okay, what medicine do I need to take? What do I need to limit for the next couple of days or weeks, whatever that may be? Like it is a very big blessing to know that in a couple of days you're going to be better and you're going to be back to normal. I say that because I'm not pushing myself today past my limits, but I do think that today when I woke up, I was feeling better than the last couple of days. And a part of me was like, do I still want to record? Do I not want to record? And as the afternoon went on, I was like, I not only am feeling a little bit better, but I also really want to record this podcast. And there's different factors, right? Like I had a commitment. I think commitments are a big reason why people do things. Duh. But also am gonna be away for the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna be down the shore. So I know that I'm not gonna have as many podcast episodes to be put out, perhaps not fully every Tuesday, for example. So I just think like those little factors really were encouraging me to record. If at some point I don't make sense, I mean, I don't always make sense, but that probably also is because my brain is not my brain today. I have a little brain fog. And again, I'm just telling you that, like, I'm a person, I get sick, and the reason why I'm sick, I think, is because I was at a bachelorette this past weekend. Shout out Becca Freer. Bachelorettes, like, you could tell when people don't like their friends if they're like, "Ugh, another bachelorette." I am so excited for every single bachelorette that I have. I've only had 2, but, like, I am consistently so excited for them, and also, they're so much fun. My first one was my friend Carly's, and that was in Charleston last year, and it was just so fun, like, the group is obviously super important to a bachelorette. Carly's was so fun, the vibes were so high, it was such good weather, we had a pool, and then my next one, which I guess I'm not fully at the age yet where it's, like, every single month you have a bachelorette. Maybe I'll bite my tongue, and maybe in a couple of years when I have a bachelorette a lot more frequently than I have them right now, I might be like, "Oh, another bachelorette." But the way I see a bachelorette is just a vacation with your friends, and I've gotten lucky that the past 2 bachelorettes, the only bachelorettes that I've been on, have been my, like, very good friends, and their friends are subsequently my friends. But right, like, it might be a little bit different if you're like the one camp friend on a bachelorette or you're the one school friend on like a mainly home friends bachelorette. I totally get that and I empathize for you. But if these bitches are not letting you into their crew for at least 48 hours, that's on them. That has literally nothing to do with you. I got so lucky because this weekend at Becca's, we went to the Hamptons and everyone was just like on their game. Everyone was being so funny. We Thursday night we did a trivia game and uh, something to me is like we have all these photos on Facebook that just sit there. And unless they're getting you canceled, they're not getting brought up again. And I thought, what if I just made a trivia game for Becca with all of these Facebook photos that she has. Because, like, back in the day, Facebook photos were the epitome of what we were doing. Like, you would finish a weekend and then you would make the album, like, "This past weekend, dot, dot, dot," something scandalocious. But there was something so fun about, like, going back on Becca's Facebook photos specifically and, like, stalking her, going through all of her albums, her tagged photos, and then, like, taking the photos and putting them into a PowerPoint, essentially. I freaking loved it. So we did, like, games one night, and that's something too where every group of friends is different, but I think that when you're on a bachelorette and you're, like, merging so many different personalities, groups, how people know the bride, like, it can be hard probably to, like, form an itinerary that is conducive to everybody's needs. And we all kinda went into it understanding the itinerary. Becca's not a huge partier. I'm not really a huge partier. I'm sure that there were huge partiers on the trip, but there was this mutual understanding that on Thursday when we all got there, we're just gonna be chill. We're gonna hang out outside and then we're gonna play games. And that we did. Like, when you're laughing so much with a group of people that your stomach is actually hurting, that is the that is the feeling that I crave. Like, that is the feeling that I go after, that I chase so viciously in life. Like, I want my stomach to be in physical pain when I leave because I've been laughing so much. And that sounds maybe a little violent, but you know what I mean. Like, there's really no better feeling than you saying something maybe and then someone else riffing off of that and then everyone else, like, laughing. I guess that's why I enjoy doing stand-up comedy is I like bringing laughter to a lot of people, but also, like, in the name of Becca, it just was so special to be with her school friends, with her sisters, with her home friends that are also my home friends. It was just a very special weekend, and we did pool day Friday and Saturday, and there's 2 types of girls. Like, there's the type of girl who's sitting, lounging, tanning, and then there's the type of girl who's, like, doing handstand competitions and playing the categories game in the pool. If you're lucky, you might be both of them. I'm kind of both of them. I can be laying or I can be, like, going ballistic in the pool, playing categories, dancing, jumping in. I think that's really fun. But again, like, having a good balance is so crucial. Also, if you're listening to this and you're like, "This sounds like my worst nightmare," that's fine. You don't have to do that on your bachelorette. I feel like the fact that we all go on so many bachelorettes, once it's your turn, like, you can kinda plan it, and I feel like because I'm single, I'm just taking notes in. I'm like, don't like that, love that." I will say for Becca's, like and Carly's too, every single thing we did, I was like, "Yes." It was so fun, and I hope my energy and zest for bachelorettes never goes away, but also, like, the only thing that I wouldn't die for at a bachelorette is, like, a pedal and pub. I don't need to be pedaling my way throughout a historic downtown of a city and chugging high noons. I don't wanna do that. Did I wanna do that at some point? Duh. Did I do it? Of course, there's video proof. But right now, and I think in a couple of years, like, I'm all set. Confirming you do not need to put me down for the pedal and pub. I'm good. So, obviously, we didn't get, like, no sleep, but I think that as we age, like, the volume of sleep that we need increases, yet our mindset of what we need is, like, staying the same, and that's a problem because we went to bed probably at, like, 1 a.m. both days, yet I think I counted, there's, like, 8 of us who are sick. 13 sick in the head. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, 8 are actually sick, a little tired, a little congested. And is it from lack of sleep? Is it from sharing germs? Who the heck knows? But what I do know is our sleep was not that long because people wake up at 8 a.m. I've never been the type to wake up at 8 a.m., period. But also on a bachelorette, I feel like not anxious if I'm not up with everybody else, but I know that I'm missing out on something fun because the people are so much fun. And it bums me out that I would have to, like, miss something. Like, I would wake up at 8:30 and people were already up, people already walked to coffee, people walked to breakfast, and I'm immediately like, "God damn it, get your shit together." And then I'm, like, rumbling my shit to get up, and then it's like, what if I did just sleep the extra hour? I don't know, I'd probably miss out on a lot more. I don't operate with FOMO. I've never really gotten FOMO, but I do think on a bachelorette when there's, like, only 48 hours of this, like, dedicated special time, I don't wanna miss it. And that's more so where I'm coming from. I'm not like, "Oh my god, I'm missing out on a night out," and if I did, that's okay. But I think there's also such a testament to, like, the group of girls that were there when I would wake up and they would my 2 roommates, Carly and Sarah Russo, shout out, when they would already be up and at 'em, I'm like, "Fuck, like, I gotta get going." You know, you can nap during the day. All in all, just a very solid weekend. And I did say it was funny because I was like, "It felt like a vacation," because it did feel like a vacation. All bachelorettes should feel like a vacation. And I'm not just saying that because I've never been the bride, therefore I haven't been able to, like, curate my own weekend. I do think a bachelorette that is a vacation for everyone is so important because you want everyone to feel okay, I say you, I'm talking about myself. Like, if I were to have a bachelorette, I want everyone to look forward to it. I want everyone to feel excited each morning when they wake up for like the day's itinerary. And also, I want everyone to leave that trip thinking that was a really well-rounded weekend. I don't really want it to be like day drinking, partying at night, day drinking the next day, pool club, club, another club, no sleep, repeat. Like, that's not my vibe. That's some people's vibe. But me personally, I would really want people to walk away thinking, wow, that was a really fun vacation. Shout out Becca. That was really fun. And also, because I mentioned Carly earlier, shout out Carly as well. That was a really fun vacation as well. Like, just all around shout out girls. Okay. I mentioned sleep, which is a really great transition to lead me into one of my biggest topics today. I didn't really have a plan today. I never do. But I had, I let me be real. I did have a plan. Today, I was going to plan on talking about my experience of not consuming alcohol for the last 10 months. I was ready. I was so excited. And as I was saying earlier today, I'm just not feeling 100%. I know for a fact that when I talk about that experience and that episode, I want to be 100% in my present body and in my present mind. I don't wanna feel an inch of like, "Wait, what was I just saying?" Or or not being able to prepare as well as I would have been able to if I had a clear mind. Like, even when I'm talking right now, it's brain fog, like, I have some brain fog right now. But even on the way here, I kept going back and forth between, like, "Do I wanna talk about that? Do I not wanna talk about that?" I wanna talk about it so bad. I wanna share it with you guys so bad. But right now is not the best time. Next week will probably be a great time because 'cause I'll feel better, and I'm so lucky for that. But speaking of sleep routines, so, talking about, like, being the other I'm all over the place, see? Okay. Couple weeks ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago, I was texting my friend Rachel, and I had slept until noon, and I was texting my friend Rachel, and I had apologized to her because I was replying to her message from, like, the night before at 10 PM. I was replying to her at 1. And to the average person, I don't know what your guys' response times looks like when you're texting people. I think that I could be better about drawing boundaries of, like, always being available to people. I feel like I'm on my phone or near my phone a lot, and I don't feel like it's in an obsessive way. I just feel like when I have my phone with me and someone texts me, my initial response, an obvious response, I think, is to reply to them. No one's texting me like Shakespeare poetic thoughts where I really have to sit and think about it, or I'll text them back from my laptop. But I think that being so available in general is not always serving me. I say me because I don't wanna say serving everyone, but I do think that there there is, like, a downside to always being available. I don't always want to be available. I say that I don't always want to be available, but, like, if my sister texted me, I would want to respond to her. And I think that's a delicate balance of, like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to be available to people or do you not wanna be available to people? And to that question that I just posed to myself, I would say probably a healthy mix. Like, I want people to know that they can rely on me, but I also don't want people to take advantage of the fact that I'm probably available. And also, it's funny because, like, I'm pretty busy, but I always make time for people that I care about. So I do think there's just, like, this healthy balance of who do you want to be available for, and how are you going to draw a boundary if maybe you don't always wanna be available for everyone. I think also, like, with social media, sometimes I'll just get in these ruts. Like, when I was not feeling that good this week, I was, like, heavy on social media, like, heavy on scrolling. Like, if I was in bed not feeling well, I just was scrolling. And in my head, I was like, "This is not productive. What are you doing? This is not going to make you feel better about yourself. This is not something that you're gonna look back in 10 minutes and say, 'I'm so happy I scrolled for 7 minutes.'" Yet, it's really hard to just put the phone down and not do that. That's hard too, like, I think just with social media in general and, like, this instant gratification we feel. I'm closing the loop to what I was saying earlier about sleep supportive because I slept until noon. I responded to Rachel when I wanted to, which was, like, pretty shortly after I woke up because I really enjoy texting her, and I said, "Sorry, I come from a sleep supportive family. I fully just slept until noon." To which she responded something like, "I love that. Good for you." And then I started to think, like, "Is this normal? Like, does everyone come from a sleep supportive family, or is this kinda niche to me and my family because of certain circumstances or just because of who we are, that we are sleep supportive?" What I meant by sleep supportive when I said it was when I slept until noon, my mom replied to that with, "Great, it sounds like your body needed it." That is, like, sleep supportive to a definition, to a T, because I would imagine that sometimes other families or other parents might say, "Did you drink too much? What'd you do this week? That's ridiculous. It's noon on a Saturday. It's nice out. Like, get your ass up and work." That's what I actually said in the video. Or if someone slept until 10 on, like, a Sunday, would it be a huge problem? And I would imagine that it is. Like, I've heard stories from different friends of mine that they don't come from sleep supportive families, and I didn't recognize that when they're telling me these stories about their families that we could pin that as non-sleep supportive, but I just made a video about it. I was like, "Why don't I just make a video of it?" I didn't think I coined the word sleep supportive. It's 2 very common words, and I just put them together. So I made the video. I said, "Do you guys come from a sleep supportive family or non-sleep supportive family?" And it was a Saturday, and then I kinda, like, put my phone away, and all of a sudden it blew up. I I've still never seen a video that viral to this day, of my own. I've obviously seen viral videos, duh. The engagement and the commentary that this one video sparked is still happening. It's been 3 weeks. People are commenting how they feel about sleep supportive versus non-sleep supportive, how they were raised, whether that was sleep supportive or non-sleep supportive, how they wanna raise their kids, how their friends are, how they are right now. The amount of people raised in non-sleep supportive families was actually really upsetting to me. people commenting things. I would pull out my phone right now. I just like don't want to. Um, because I'm drawing boundaries. I remember one person stuck with me. I mean, there's like thousands. One person had said his mom would come into his room when he was like basically half asleep and give him chores. And then when he would wake up at whatever time that was, she would shame him for sleeping late, even though it wasn't that late, and then would get mad at him if he didn't remember the chores that she had given him. That might be another definition of like maybe not so non-sleep supportive, but it reminds me of like how lucky I am to have grown up in a household that sleep is cherished and sleep is really viewed as like lucrative to our well-being. And I do think a lot of that comes from my sister having chronic Lyme disease and her needing sleep to function. It's not a choice. She can't get 3 hours of sleep at night and then function the next day. Or maybe she can and then her body's going to crash out in 2 days. Sleep to our family has been cherished for as long as I can remember. I don't ever remember once waking up at whatever time and my mom saying, "Ah, nice of you to join us this morning." That was a comment that a lot of people wrote of when they would sleep late, that's what their parents would say. Or even if they would wake up at, like, 9, their parents would be like, "Ah, the day's away. Well, how do you wanna spend it?" I can't imagine being not sleep supportive. I can't imagine, like, listening to my body and feeling shame from it. I actually feel really bad for people that aren't sleep supported. And as I had said, like, in a video in the comments, like, if anyone ever sleeps late and wants to tell someone because 'cause they're too scared to tell their family, you can tell me. Because the reason you're sleeping late, there's a lot of reasons. The first reason that I think of why I would sleep late, I'll relate this to myself, is I had a really busy week, and my body is giving out. So that's the first reason why I would sleep late is, like, I had a busy week. My body is kind of just giving out. Your phone dies, right? And you charge it, right? You let it sit in the charger for however long it needs to get to its full battery. If you unplug that before it's done, maybe you unplug it at 25, it's gonna die, and then you have to plug it back in again. I did not make up that metaphor, if that's even a metaphor, but that is something that has stuck with me for however maybe I did make it up. I need to give myself more credit. I don't know if I made it up. If you keep unplugging and replugging and unplugging and replugging, what's gonna happen? Your phone's gonna die quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, and you're not gonna be able to catch a break. It's the same exact thing with your body. Like, think about it. If you have a really tough week, I had a really hard week with like my little baby cold. If I didn't rest, if I didn't go to bed at 8 p.m. every single night and wake up at 9 the next day, I would really probably feel a lot worse than I feel today. Keep that in mind. So you not feeling well is a reason why, or rather you having a busy week and your body just being like, "Hey, love you. Can we just rest for a second?" That could be the reason why you're sleeping late. Another reason you could be sleeping late out of the hundreds of probably opportunity options, brain fog, is your mental health might not be that good. Bless you. Your mental health might not be that good. And pinning together social media and mental health, like you might I can speak from experience. Again, like I never want to be like you. I'll speak from my own experience. Like when I am feeling mentally down, sleep is comforting to me. And when I'm feeling mentally down, I want to be comforted. People feel comforted by other things. Maybe it's hanging out with friends, maybe it's eating, maybe it's going on walks, maybe it's listening to music. To me, when I'm feeling mentally down, something that my body is begging for and that my mind is like inching towards is sleep. Give yourself what your body and mind needs. I don't understand why that wouldn't process. And I get why it doesn't process because I read all of the comments. I understand that a lot of people were not raised to, like, be applauded when they sleep. But I think that you as individuals have the opportunity to, like, unlearn that and pass that on to your future generations of, like, sleep is so important. When you're exhausted, that's your body hinting at you. That's your body saying, "Hey, can we please slow down?" When I'm feeling depressed, yeah, I wanna sleep. When I'm feeling really good, I also wanna sleep. I wanna sleep. I don't wanna go to bed late and wake up at 5 AM. Like, that is not fun to me. What is fun to me is getting such awesome night's sleep and being able to, like, feel rested that next day. And that's sleep supportive too. Illness is another reason, obviously, why people sleep late. Um, I don't really wanna keep going on about why people sleep late. The list is huge. What I want you to take from this and what I want oh my god, I'm just realizing I talk so much with my hands. I would like to have handcuffs on. Um, that's so annoying. Because when I watch other people go fucking ape shit with their hands when they're talking, it's like, "Hey, there's no need for that." Yet when I do it, I'm like, "Necessary." I don't know why I do that. I feel like Italians like to talk with their hands a lot, and then they're like, "I'm Italian." And it's like, "I'm Jewish, but I'm still talking with my hands." Fuck is up with that? I think that with the video and creating so much dialogue, a lot came from it. Community, people unburdening their trauma, and a couple articles. There were a woman from Newsweek interviewed me. I wrote literally like my journalism major came in full effect. I replied to her questions with like paragraphs. Now I did not expect her to like take every single thing that I said, but some of the things I wrote, I was like, really? Why didn't you put that in? That was Shakespeare poetic. But the point was the story was not about me, the Newsweek article. I brought up this discussion of sleep supportive versus non-sleep supportive, and it kinda made me titillated? I don't know. It really amazed me that, like, this had not been discussed before, or maybe it had, maybe someone brought it up and it just didn't pick up as much traction. I was really impressed that like, I'll brag for a second. I was impressed that a thought that I had that I didn't put that much thought into had this effect. And let that be a lesson that whatever thoughts you have, even if you don't think they're massive or groundbreaking or earth shattering, they could still be fresh and new to somebody. And you never know who is going to connect with that thought. That's not to say all of your thoughts at once and don't hold anything in, but I do think like say what you want to say because you never know who that's going to connect with. I would have never thought that this video has 7 million views on TikTok. Like, that's disgusting. That's crazy town. It's causing so much dialogue, and I love it. Like, I love that I created that for people. With that, it brings me to something that I like to talk about because it's raw. Like, going viral is not that deep. And I think that it's important when you're going viral or if you have gone viral to recognize what that means to you. What does having a video blow up mean to you? Does it mean you're really cool? Does it mean that everyone really likes you? Does it mean that you're getting more followers, therefore you're getting closer to a numerical goal that means honestly nothing? What does it mean to you? Going viral to me means I am creating community and I'm driving engagement amongst those communities. Going viral to me means I'm making people laugh, hopefully, and I'm spreading joy by being my authentic self. That is viral to me. I think it is so freaking easy to get caught up in these huge numbers and check for notifications. That's the world that we're living in. I am working so hard to not let that be a part of my journey because it can get really fucking toxic. This week when I'm like scrolling in bed, what am I scrolling for? What am I looking for? You got another follower, you got another like. Awesome. Now what? It's always going to be the next thing. You reach one benchmark, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. You need to figure out early on in this process, and I'm talking to myself. I need to figure out early on in this process what is making me happy because if it's numbers, it's never going to fly. The numbers cannot equate to success. That's a really like I think that that's hard to say and sit with because, like, at the end of the day, your numbers equate to success. For my success, that's not what it is about. For my success, when I started doing a not that deep of the day on my not that deep Instagram and TikTok, I started that in July. I was walking home one day and it was raining, and I just kind of let my umbrella go. And I was thinking to myself, it's not that deep to just let yourself get wet from the rain. Like, it's not that deep. And then I recorded it that it's not that deep. And then I thought, what if I did this every day? That video, I think, got like less than 100 views. I did not care. I was doing it because I wanted to start this daily post. Sometimes I feel like podcast clips are a little difficult to relate to online. Like if it's two people talking as the viewer, you kind of get confused on like, am I supposed to be included in this? Um, that's how I feel sometimes. A lot of times the podcast clips that resonate with me most of other people's is like them being hysterical, having such funny banter. I think that Rye does such a good job of this. Like they'll just post funny shit of them talking and I'm like, that's funny. That's what I want to see. I don't think that my podcast has a lot of those like funny hysterical moments. But then again, like with everything you do, you reach a new audience and you reach somebody that you didn't before. So that's why I post podcast clips even if they're not funny. I post them because I work hard. I work hard to get this studio. I work hard to edit my clips. I work hard to get my guests. I need to put that out there. That's part of the process. That's real. And so when I did the not that deep of the day of the getting wet in the rain, I posted it. The following day, I was going to Boston and I was driving in the car with my friend Larissa. Or rather, I wasn't driving yet. I was just going to pick her up at Newark Penn Station. Shout out Newark Penn Station. Honestly, a joy to be at. And I was waiting for her in the car and I was like drinking water. And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to pee in the car. I'm gonna have to pee on this road trip. And then I thought, well, why does that matter? It's not that deep to have to pee on a road trip. So then I made that into a not that deep of the day because it was the second day. That video blew up. It blew up, and I think that had I don't even know how many views it had. I just know that it was garnering so much engagement and so much dialogue, and I was, like, loving watching it come in and having people talk about, "Is it that deep? Is it not that deep? Who are they on the road trip? Are they the person driving? Are they the person in the passenger seat? Are they the person who has to pee? Are they the person who has childhood trauma of, like, telling their parents that they have to go to the bathroom, and then the parents mad at them?" Like, people are pee shamed too. Do you come from a pee supportive family or a non-pee supportive family? I'm gonna make a video about that. That's so real. And from then on, I just started doing, like, a not that deep of the day, hashtag #NTDOTD. It gives me daily content to put out, and I really like it. I think it's such a way to, like, bring myself back down to earth during a day, like, today, the other night I did, it's not that deep to, like, have to cancel plans because of how you're feeling, and that was very, like, close to home, and that was really real of what I was feeling. I think that's something else that I've noticed from this account and, like, how thrilled I am with it is the people. The people that I have DM'd with or that comment on my not that deeps of the day are just, like, so nice and really cool people. Now, how much can you tell from someone from social media? Enough. These people are, like, hype people, and that's something that is so refreshing in this day and age of social media. Like, to post something and to have people DM you, like, people are DMing me, like, they're not that deeps of the day. And I'm like, "That's so spectacular. Thank you so much for sharing that with me." Like, my goal through the end of time is to be my authentic self and spread joy and laughter. Does that sound cheesy? Sure. Is that exactly my mantra? Not really, because sometimes I change it. That is what I want. Like, that is what I want at the end of this. I want to be known as somebody who is authentic to herself, who makes people laugh and makes people joyful, period. And I've, like, been seen through this account and through my not that deeps of the day is, like, people are connecting with it, and they are connecting with me, and they're feeling comfortable enough to message me or to comment on the videos. And I just think that's something that I've been sitting with is, like, I'm so grateful that I have created the space for other people to feel comfortable. I don't want my content to want to make you want to be me. I want my content to make you want to be yourself. Let me repeat that because the prequel to that is I think that a lot of people on social media are like content creators, influencers, trying to kind of make their life look a lot better or more upscale than it is to kind of create this facade to try to get people to like want to be at that level, to have the things that they have, to have the type of hair, to do the same beauty routines as them. And that's influencing culture. Like, I have nothing but respect for these influencers. They put out their whole hussies to like get content out, long form content. I have so much respect for them. But I think that there is this like idyllic way that they pose some of their content to want people to want to be like that. And I just have kind of realized like my content is not to show you like, look at me. Like, look at what I do. Granted, I don't even think anyone would give a fuck about that. That's on being self-aware. But my content is meant to like encourage you to think and to laugh. Like someone DM'd me the other day and was like, "You were" I need to read this to you guys. Fuck this. I'm reading this to you guys. I'm getting my phone out. And something that I'm gonna do right now is be mindful about when I open my phone, if I have notifications, which I don't even get TikTok or Instagram notifications on my screen, or if I see texts, I don't need to respond to them right now. Let's give it a go. You ever go on a plane, airplane mode, maybe back in the day, and then you're about to land and you're like so excited to see all your texts? You click airplane mode off, you're ready for them to flood in, and there's nothing. I feel a damn fool. There was nothing. That's not that deep. It's literally not that deep. That was funny. That was a humbling moment. I'm so glad I found your account. Freaking going through it right now, and I need to hear everything you're saying. Thank you for keeping it real and not that deep. That's literally so nice. Like, I think you have so much power in your individual self. Use it well. I'm, like, squirming in my chair because I have to pee so bad. I drank so much freaking water, and I come from a pee supportive family. I think with that, I think that's a good sign. I think I'm all set here for right now. I'm gonna get a good ass night's sleep. Wait, I have to pee so bad. This is hold on. But I just had to pee so bad. I had to get up. Like I was in pain. And it's not worth it to get a UTI. It's just not. Um with that, cuz I was kind of rushed because I had to be my bladder said right now or never. Um I'm going to take the decline a little bit slower now. I am so appreciative if this is your first time listening or your 53rd time listening to this. I this makes me so happy, and I think that the fact that this is making other people happy is so special to me, and it's something that I mean, I'm almost at, like, 10,000 followers on Instagram. Like, that's an insane amount of people. Like, 10,000. I can't even fathom that. And you guys are so engaged, and I just feel like this is just the beginning, and I am so appreciative of you. So whether you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, I just saw something for work actually that YouTube is the number one place where people watch podcasts, or rather people listen to podcasts, which is super interesting. I listen on Spotify, but everyone's different, everyone's unique, everyone's on their own journey, and that's what makes us so beautiful. So remember, it's not that deep, and thank you guys. Mwah.